love it. That's I've been trying to find a way to incorporate some players, so this is the best way to do it. So I'm excited. All right, so are you ready to get started?
Yeah.
All right, so I've lost track of the episode. I think episode 6 maybe. San Diego Hoops Report ZoomCast. Today I'm joined by Grossmont head coach Grace Cam. I have a couple of her athletes with us joining us today, which also makes this super special. We're really excited. So first of all, thank you for we've been trying to schedule this for a while. Sorry, it's been a crazy time for both of us, I'm sure, and with everything that's going on. But I'm glad we were able to get this get lined up and talk today. So let's first start by telling me who you have with us tonight.
Right next to me is my junior guard, Kinsey Purnell. She's been on varsity for the past 3 years now, and she's one of our key returners.
Nice. And who else?
And then we have on the other screen, senior Anissa Chugaloff. She's also another key returner for us this season.
Awesome. So happy to have you, Coach, and obviously also happy to have some of your players with us. It's going to allow us to get some insight on you and probably the best insight we've been able to get on a program, being able to get the perspective of some of your players. So I always like to start with kind of how your basketball journey for you personally started, kind of get some background on your history with the game. So I like to start in terms of your earliest memories when you first remember that you found a passion for the game.
Well, my family's big. I have 5 brothers and 1 sister. They're all athletic. They all play sports. And as a kid, I had to figure out what sport I fit in. I was always the tallest. So because I was tall, I was kind of pushed to play basketball by my brothers. And that's how I got into playing basketball. I didn't start playing until I was maybe 12 years old. And then from there, my love just grew and grew on throughout college up until now.
Where did you play high school ball?
Oklahoma State. I played there. I went to a local JC in my area. So my JC, I got a scholarship to Oklahoma State, and I played there, and then that's where I finished out.
And so you're originally from the Oklahoma area?
No, from the Inland Empire. I'm from Chino Hills.
And how'd you find yourself in Oklahoma?
That was the only option I had. You have a partial scholarship, that's where you're gonna go. So
awesome.
I somewhere smaller or somewhere, but I wanted to get away, and that was the place to go.
When you were playing, did you ever, sometimes people say, I'm sure you as a coach, you can identify players that you see that, maybe be coaches down the road. Is there a time when you saw yourself as a coach? Or is it something you never thought would happen? Or how did the coaching part come into it?
I didn't see myself ever coaching, actually. I've been in San Diego for 12 years now. So when I first got here, I found myself, looking for something to do, something to influence, to help the community, to have more strong Black females in a leadership role. So I figured, you know what, let's try coaching. Let's try to maybe be a light to these girls somehow, some way through what I know through basketball. And that's how I got going as far as coaching.
And would you say it's been what you thought in terms of the outside of basketball part, in terms of the influence you've hoped to instill?
Absolutely. I thought that, of course it has its struggles, it's tough moments, but I enjoy doing it. It's good to see, a player from their freshman year transition to their senior year, how far they have come and grown and matured. And to know that I had an influence in that is always, great.
So this is going into your 9th or going into your 10th season?
As varsity head coach, my 9th.
Okay, and how did you find yourself? How do we end up here? How did we get to Grossmont as the head coach?
I was hired as a JV coach. The following year, the varsity coach stepped down. I applied. I think only 2 other applicants applied besides me. They're like, oh, Grossmont, they suck. Why go there? And I got in. And once I got in, I told my coaching staff, we're going to change culture here. We're going to put us back on the map.
What were the kind of things that what were the bigger culture changes that you had to make, or what were some of the bigger adjustments that the program had to go in your early time there?
Honestly, just the work ethic. Them having to show up. It's not a part-time job, you know? You coming to play basketball for me, you got to be committed. You got to be here. You got to work hard and no excuses. And that was the biggest hurdle, is getting the girls to believe that they're good enough. And to be good enough, you got to keep coming every day. You got to keep putting that work in, despite what the outside critics are saying. Grossmont sucks. You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
the hard part is changing the work ethic and the mindset of the girls, because we still get it today. Grossmont sucks. Oh, Grossmont basketball, what? They're not elite. But I think now they understand, and she'll tell you, no, we think differently now. That's not what it is. We ignore all outside chatter, and we stay in our little bubble, and we do what we do, despite what media or people are saying. So that was a mindset and a work ethic.
And I see you guys out and about doing stuff year round. I know a lot of the way I like to tell people, there's a difference between being a part of a team and a program. And you guys are, to any successful program that we have in San Diego is with their kids year round, doing stuff in the summer, doing stuff in the fall. Is that something that you did early? Is that a mindset also that you had to change?
Yes, absolutely. For us to have gotten here, we played so much year round because you have to. And with what we have here at Grossmont, girls can't afford to play club to play year round. So I made it, one of my goals to, hey, you guys can play for me. We'll play year round. We'll play club under healers. We'll travel to the local stuff, just to get the games in, to get those reps in. And since then, we've been playing year round.
So let's talk about, go back just a little bit. I want to talk about the 2016 season. You guys were CIF champions. What did that feel like in terms of where you guys started when you first got to the program? Was it a weight off your shoulder? Was it a sense of accomplishment in terms of you knew you would be there? Were you guys ahead of schedule, behind schedule? Kind of walk me through the process of from year one to that championship season.
So when I took over head coach, I gave myself 4 years. I said, it's going to take me 4 years to turn this program around. And I think I did it in 3. So when we got there, we won it. It wasn't any pressure because, again, no one expected us to be there. It's Grossmont basketball, right? No one wanted us to be there. So when we got there, we won it. It was just like, you know what? Let's do better. Let's win at the D2 level, the D1 level. So I always had goals for us to get there. So us being there, it wasn't a surprise. It wasn't pressure. Our goal was, again, just to change our program, change how people viewed our program. And that's what it was.
Do you see, has those expectations, I won't say expectation, has the perception changed? I know from my perspective, as long as I've been here, you guys have been competitive. So I'm not going to be in the category of people who didn't know you guys were any good. But obviously, from the time you got there to now, have you seen that perception of you guys change? I know I see you guys at a lot of events. Whenever there's something where teams are playing, you guys are there. So do you think you guys are starting to measure up?
I think we are. I think we're slowly but surely trying to measure up to our competition. Of course, we're not at the level as Mount Miguel or Bonita or Mission Hills, but my goal is to get us there. That is my number one goal. And I think we will get there sooner or later.
All right, so let's talk about, and this will be kind of for everybody. Obviously, we're in far from a normal situation. Right now, we'd probably be, serious into some fall basketball, getting ready to, have tryouts, matter of fact. So how has Grossmont been through these last 6 months in terms of the end of last school year, the summer, and where we are now in terms of just the uncertainty and the chaos of the world today?
You know what, honestly, I think COVID kind of hit at a good time for us because, again, we just got off of a loss to Lincoln. Buzzer beater, very heartbreaking. All respect to Lonnie Jones. Great job, great game plan. We lost in the buzzer beater. We're heartbroken. We're definitely probably one of the worst losses of my career. So we took a long break. We had to regroup. we had to change our approach going on to this season. So it gave us time to do all that. We just got back into it 2 months ago, and we've been going at it hard last 2 months.
And how about for you guys? What has been, do you guys kind of echo Coach's sentiment in terms of you guys needed to break a little bit?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It was definitely it was a really hard loss just because the previous year we went to the championship and we also lost that game. So we tried to work hard to get to that semifinal game to get us back to the championship. So it hurt to know that we lost that game because we didn't get the chance to go back and redeem ourselves. So that loss was very emotional, and it still is. So I think our team, we did need a break. I think it helped us. The timing kind of did, yeah.
Awesome. How do you feel, Coach, that now that you guys are back, how are you dealing with the challenges that we have to experience with COVID right now?
I'm not even worried about society right now as far as the COVID stuff. I'm worried about my girls because when I got them back, they're out of shape. They put on the COVID-15, the COVID-19. So now we're focused to getting them back in shape, getting that weight off, getting us to be in Division I shape. So that's the challenge right now, is to find ways to get them to get back in shape. And we're limited. We don't have the gym. The weight room. We can't go to certain places to work out. So we're limited to do what we can do here in the gym at Grossmont.
With what you have coming back and with the expectations you guys had, what kind of challenges has this break, if any, presented to you? Or do you think is a situation, going back to what you said previously, where this time off is going to be more of a benefit for you guys when we do restart, hopefully in March?
Yeah, I'm very positive, optimistic about this season if we have a season. Our goal is to get back to the D2 championship, hopefully win it, and then next year be Division I. I think we have, I have 4 starters coming back this season. So we have high expectations. It's just the hard part of us getting in shape. And when I say Division I shape, we got to be in shape.
How about you guys? How have you seen the challenges? It sounds like Coach is trying to whip you guys back into shape after being off. How has that been, getting readjusted to being back on the court or being back to working out?
I think it feels good because during we didn't have access to the gym because everything was shut down, and it feels better to be able to train and get back in shape when you didn't have any access to anything that you could, you know what I mean.
Absolutely, I got you. How about you, Anissa?
Yeah, I feel the same way. It was tough because we did need that break, but during quarantine, it was a way longer break than we expected. So to find the motivation to get up and try to work out without, like Kenzie said, without having access to the gym and being there with our teammates, being together and having each other to push, each other. It was kind of hard to find motivation, but when Coach opened back up the gym again, it felt good because then we knew okay, well, you got to start somewhere because we were all not, having access to the gym, families were concerned. So it felt good to just get up and be able to go back and hit the gym again, especially being with our teammates and stuff, having people to push us.
Coach, I know for me, when this all started, I really struggled, and I've mentioned this several times on the podcast. I really struggled with staying connected with my team. Not that staying connected was a challenge as much as it wasn't as natural it was when you would see them during the course of a school day or see them every day at practice, where it kind of had to force your way to check in on them when you normally wouldn't have to. Has that been a challenge at all for you during the time away, or if it was, how did you guys manage that?
To be honest with you, it was no communication at all. Nothing. Again, after that heartbreaking loss, they needed a break from me, from basketball. A disconnect was needed. And I'm all about the mental, the mindset. And I know that I think that benefited them not to have any contact with me for a month or two, right? That helped recover from a long season, Haseen. We played a division schedule. We had a tough schedule last season. We played the maximum amount of games we played. They were burnt. I was burnt. And the best thing was to disconnect. And now we're back at it, and they're refreshed, and we're going to move on.
How about you guys? How was it being away? It's probably the longest you've ever been away from your teammates. So how was that adjustment to not seeing them every day? I know texting and Zoom and all the other ways we communicate is not the same. So how did you guys kind of manage that or deal with that?
I feel like during that time, I was able to get close to my family and just not focus on the loss because that one, it really messed me up. But I tried to train as much as I could during that time. So yeah, it feels good to be back and
I
able
bet.
to.
How about you, Anissa?
Communication wise, we didn't, as far as with the coach, like she said, we weren't communicating back and forth for a minute. And I felt like it was between us teammates, and it wasn't, anything personal. It was more because everything was happening and stuff, and we took a break from basketball. I mean, everybody was kind of, trying to find their own thing, especially through the hard time that the world was going through. I mean, you know what I mean? So I feel like all of us had the chance to actually get to not it wasn't a bad thing that we weren't communicating, because again, it's not personal, but we all got to spend time with family and kind of figure out as things went by, you know what I mean? So we didn't really communicate as much, but I mean, us being back, it's kind of like normal again.
Coach, how about dealing with getting perspective from your players in terms of the where we are as a society, social injustice being at the forefront, in our face a lot. Was it something where kids had questions, or you felt the need to explain? Because I know some programs, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Being that you're a Black woman, your perspective is going to be different than a lot of coaches in the county. So is that something that became an issue, a topic of discussion within the program?
Not at all. I think my girls are mature enough and they understand. As long as they're being positive people and not doing or saying anything negative, that's all I care about. I lead by example. How I hold myself, what I say, what I do is my example to them, and how to, be as well. So again, it's not very many of us as far as African American females or even minority female coaches in San Diego. So it's very important to me that I hold myself to a certain level that's respectable because of that.
So do you feel, I get the sense that it's a bit of a burden you put on yourself. I don't want to say burden, but something you carry on your back as a representation of, like you said, a role model for your, you could be grooming some future coaches, but you understand the gravity of being one of the few, Black women, like you said, minority women in general, coaching in the area. So is that something that you feel like you're a mentor, a role model, or something like that?
That's where the pressure comes in, having that role, because because there's very few of us, I have to work harder. I need to gotta be successful, gotta work hard, gotta, again, show them, despite how hard things may be, that, stay positive, keep working hard, keep being that positive example. And
you actually, reading, we talked to before, and you explained how you had a child during the season. It was important for you to come back right away, as showing them, again, an example of hard work, getting back to it, doing responsibilities. You want to touch on that a little bit? Yeah, that was a stressful year for me. Yeah, I was pregnant. 2 weeks later, I came back. I think I missed one game, and my husband coached the game. He played against Mount Miguel. After that, I came back, and I coached. And I think we lost that year to Carlsbad in the championship game that year. And what was it like coming back so soon? That, hey, she had a baby. 2 weeks later, she came back because she cares about us, because this is her job. This is her passion. That's what it was. And that was so great for me to be able to do that. It was amazing. So, Anissa, I'm going to start with you. Tell me something that sticks out in you, something that, let's say 5 years, 10 years, 15 years from now, you'll always remember, or something that maybe Coach, a pearl of wisdom, or something you may have learned from Coach that'll stick with you.
I think the first thing that comes to mind that Coach has taught me, the whole team, is most of us girls, we came to this team not having basketball experience. All of us, we came on this team, and we didn't really play before we got to high school. So she kind of gave me the motivation, and everyone around me, that, just because we weren't coached, from young to now where I'm at, it doesn't mean anything. It's the amount of effort, like she said, the mindset and the amount of effort you put in to make yourself better to get you to that point. She taught me that, because I really needed that push, because I didn't have it. So my coach she gave me that, And I think that's something I can carry on throughout life, because that's just a good general thing to have, you know, in your mind. Just because you didn't start off good somewhere doesn't mean that you can't work hard every day to show people that you can be better, and that, you know, you can always improve yourself as long as you put your mind and your effort towards it. I mean, you could achieve anything.
And you?
I feel like Coach, she's something that I've learned from her is that helped me with is my mental toughness, because she was making us run a lot, and you gotta stay mentally tough to like keep pushing yourself and make times, because if you don't make it, you gotta run it again. So like, that helped me a lot, and just like her being able to help me with like, because a lot of us we came here not having like Anissa said, not playing basketball, not having a lot of money, but she helped us with stuff like that.
So, Coach, who were some of your influences, mentors that kind of helped motivate you into the player and then eventually the coach you became?
As far as coaching, so when I first started coaching in San Diego, one of my big mentors was Patrick Toller from Helix. He taught me all the ropes. He basically, you know, mentored me throughout until his death, unfortunately. So he was a huge influence on how I coach and who I am today. You know, so I attribute all my success to him because, again, he taught me a lot. But as far as coaches in my life, I mean, it's always been my family. And they always taught me, just look, no matter what you have, make it into something. And that's my mindset here at Grossmont. What I got dealt with, I made it into something. And I'm continuing to grow it and hopefully, you know, get to that Division I open level someday.
How would you describe your coaching style? Like, I know everybody, it's hard at the high school level because you have to coach what walks through the door. So how would you describe, you know, all things considered, you have the players that, you know, run a system that you like. How would you describe your coaching style or philosophy?
You know what? Here it's team basketball. That's what it is. Just blunt team basketball because we don't have the superstars. We win because we play team basketball and I teach basketball IQ. We're smart. We have smart game plans. And that's how we're successful. So I really preach the importance of team basketball, team concepts here. I know I have people that don't like that. They want the more individual style play, the high level drill where guards are doing crossovers, all these moves, but that's not reality here. We play team basketball, we teach team concepts, we teach basketball IQ, and that's what we do here.
What kind of things have you done to, obviously I'm sure that was a culture shift too when you got there. What kind of things have you done to try to kind of push that style and push that philosophy?
You know what? So for basketball IQ, the only way they're going to get it is by playing and watching game film and watching basketball, period. So we're always encouraging watch basketball. We're always watching game film probably 3 times a week. And practices, we're doing scenarios. We're teaching my guards, hey, once you beat them on our crossover, then what? Then the big comes, then what are you going to do? Are you going to do a scoop layup? Are you going to dish it up to the flood? Are you going to... So that kind of stuff we're teaching here at Grossmont. And that's how we're getting them to learn and, you know, because I could easily teach her all day to do a crossover, to do it behind the back, you know, but what does that do in a game when help comes? Or when you get double teamed, what are you going to do? And to me, that's all basketball IQ.
How would you guys assess what Coach is saying in terms of the things that you guys are going over in practice? Have you felt like you're, you know, you guys have both been in the program a while. Have you felt that from year one to year now that your IQ has improved, or you've gotten, you know, you're starting to see the floor a little bit different than maybe you did as a freshman?
Yeah, for sure. I know, I mean, speaking for myself, I know for sure she has, because like I said, I went into on this team not playing basketball before, and you can bet I was confused on where I was going, where I should look, and you know, I picked it up pretty fast, but I mean, with the help of Coach, you could learn very easily from her. I mean, she was there every step of the way, so she made it really easy, and she taught us. I mean, even the basic level stuff, it all starts there. So she started there, and then we all, improved throughout the years.
Go ahead.
Oh, me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like my IQ has improved a lot because, like, I didn't play basketball as much before high school, so I didn't know a lot. But then, like, I started to realize, like, more passes on the court that I can make, and like seeing like when I'm open to take a shot, or like when I can drive to, like, it's just a lot that she's helped me with IQ.
It's just team basketball, doing the basic stuff. I have my guards do mic-ins, and people like, that's elementary mic-ins. Why are your guards doing mic-ins? Because we're a team that likes to transition, and we like to slash to the basket to where they have to finish those layups. That's why they're doing mic-ins. But that's what we do at Grossmont. The basics, IQ, team basketball, and that's how I've been successful thus far.
Sounds like a lot of teaching. A lot of I think a lot of people don't understand as a coach that you're a teacher, and you sound like you feel like the importance of actually teaching the games, or teaching the game, letting them understand it and see it, hopefully from the position or from the perspective of the coach down the road.
Well, you have to with what we have here. Again, we don't have the superstars. So with what I have, you have to teach. And during season, we're going 6 days a week, 3 hours a day during season. Or during the off season. And then once we hit season, then of course it's shortened. But they're working hard. They're learning. They're in the lab, learning things. And maybe at a slower process, but come season, they're ready.
Where are you right now? I know something that I've talked to a lot of coaches about is kind of where we are as far as how we're viewing the upcoming season. Obviously, we're always trying to be as optimistic as possible as that we're going to have a season, but kind of where are you in terms of scheduling and really game planning, and where are you in terms of being season ready?
As far as game planning, we're not completed yet. We're still trying to figure out our schedule. I know last season we had a tough schedule. We had a tough schedule. I got number 6 seed in seeding. So, and then the year before, I had an easy schedule. It was still number 6. So I'm like, okay, this year I have to just do what I want to do as far as scheduling. Don't worry about CIF seeding, the process. Just schedule games to where I think will benefit us. So, but as far as right now, I'm just working on getting my girls in shape. That's it. Just getting them in shape right now.
What would you say I know for me, it wavers almost on a daily basis, but where is your optimism level that we'll be playing in March?
I'm very optimistic. I'm very optimistic. I think, it has to go. We have to do it. It's a lot to lose if we don't. As far as the players are concerned, it would suck if they couldn't play this season. They worked so hard thus far, and we have high hopes this season. So we kind of hope we can play.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I always like to say too, I always worry about the girls that I have that play softball, because they, if we can't play sports this season, they're going to miss on 2 seasons. So it's just like you said, it's so much at stake, and I'm really optimistic, and I'm really hopeful that we play. How about you guys? How are you guys feeling in terms of optimism level, anticipation level for the upcoming season?
I feel like we probably will be able to play because they let us play. Like, they're letting most sports come back right now, and yeah, I hope we're able to play.
On a positive note, it's exciting that they can actually play club and high school at the same time. I'm all for that. So that's a good thing for them.
How about you, Anissa?
For me, it's like, this is my last season. You know what I mean? Like, this is my senior season, so I'll be really sad if I didn't get the last season, especially to spend. My last season with my team and stuff. It really sucked if I didn't. So I'm really hopeful that we will have a season. I haven't heard anything like we won't have a season. So I'm hopeful that we will.
Hey, Coach, let's fast forward. I'm going to get you out of here on this. Let's fast forward. We're in March. If I said you guys are CIF Champions Division II, what would the season look like? What needs to happen for your team, play style, players stepping up, for you guys to get what it will be what'll be the ultimate goal, which is that CIF championship?
To be in shape. No,
That's it.
that is really what it is. We have to be in shape. We wasn't in shape last year. I think that kind of hurt us as far as losing some games that we should have won last season, which probably would have helped us get a better seeding. But last year we wasn't in tip-notch shape as we should have been. And this year, that's our focus, to get them in basketball shape.
Anissa, I'm gonna start with you. What's your goal for you individually and then as a team heading into this season?
Well, one is it is to get in shape, because I'm gonna be honest with myself and with you that I'm not in the top level shape that she wants me to be in. As far as like comparing myself to last season and this upcoming season, I mean, I was pretty confident last season with how I played. I mean, there's definitely room for improvement as like shooting wise and stuff. So I just really want to improve my offense even more this year. And honestly, there's room for improvement for me, I believe, everywhere, every aspect of the game. I feel like I need to improve everywhere. That's where I stand.
How about you?
Wait, what was the question again?
What kind of goals do you have for yourself individually and as a team?
Oh, okay. For myself, I feel like I need to get my shooting right and my timing right with shooting, because it's not there. Because I broke my pinky last year, and then I had to take my finger, and then it was like my shooting was way worse. And then I had to restart this season, getting it back together, like shooting without the tape. And then I feel like we do need to be in better shape, because I feel like, yeah, just getting in shape, because we were in better shape last year than we are right now. But we have a lot of time to get in shape, and Coach is doing a good job with that.
Yeah, so
Awesome.
This we're focused on getting in shape. And then, of course, we have our 6'2" Cheyenne. So I'm making sure that all my players around her are able to hit those jump shots. So a lot of shooting and getting in shape.
Give me, other than the two players you have with you right here, give me a name or two that somebody, I know you mentioned Cheyenne, maybe it's her. Give me a name or two of players that maybe us in the county, me in particular, you know, anybody who does any media in the area may be missing on or maybe need to keep our eye on.
Who's very underrated is my point guard, Danica Perez. She's underrated as far as her defensive ability. She could probably guard any point guard in the county, hands down. She's a pest. She's annoying type defense.
Great description for a defensive player is a pest.
It is. I mean, it's probably negative terms, but in basketball, it's positive.
Absolutely.
She's annoying. She's in your face. She's quick. She's fast. This year, we're really focused on her scoring more.
All right. Well, hey, I really appreciate your time. I'm glad Coach was able to introduce players into our Zoom meetings. I think this was awesome. I really appreciate your time. You guys did a good job, like seasoned veterans in front of the camera. So I appreciate it, Coach. I'm glad we were able to link up after a couple of reschedules. I appreciate your time. I wish you guys all the luck this season. And definitely don't have to worry about us sleeping for you, because we have high expectations for you guys this year.
Well, thank you. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Have a good evening. Talk to you guys later.